Hello, hello, and welcome to the CTB show. Today is November 9th, 2021. It's the Daylight Saving Shortiesode, so it's an hour short. Good night. Aaron Rodgers, more like Karen Rodgers, am I right? Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Evan the Mayor. That is Brian the Levy.
Hello.
No jokes this week. And that is Casey the Kasem.
That's all I got in me.
Yeah. That is Casey Kasem. Go.
Have you ever wondered why they almost got away with baking Santa Claus into a stew in a beloved children's special?
My favorite episode of Ted Lasso.
Is that an actual Ted Lasso reference?
No.
I'm assuming that's based on his backyard.
Oogie Boogie.
His background.
Oh. I've never seen that movie.
Is his name Oogie Boogie, or I thought it was just like Oogie?
Oogie. I don't know how you. I just say Oogie Boogie.
Anyway,
is Nightmare Before Christmas a good movie, or do like girls do cut themselves just like it?
I've liked it. I've always liked it.
Casey, I've always considered you a girl who cuts herself.
All right, hold on. Let me get through the intro first, then we can touch upon this. As I said in the intro, it is the Daylight Saving Shortiesode, so this one's going to be a little short. We're all gassed out. I cannot stand this time of year. It is the worst time of year for everyone involved, including...
Wait till you have kids, and they have no idea what the fuck is
They're
going
like,
on.
why is it 4 o'clock and dark? I hate this. This is awful.
5 o'clock to 5 o'clock, they're throwing temper tantrums, and you're like, oh, you think it's your bedtime.
It's bedtime. Yeah, I'm sitting here staring at my microwave and my oven, both of which I refuse to change the time on, so it is basically 10 o'clock at night. But it's not, somehow. And I have to get up at like 7 in the morning to go to the office in Frederick, Maryland. Yay! Anyway, this week, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers, of course. We're going to talk about some Baltimore stuff, of course. We've got a bit of a well, it's been from me and possibly one from Casey. So 45 minutes of your time, no breaks, no bumpers, no nothing. Just good old-fashioned fun, food, folks, and fun.
well, should we get rid of the sadness early? And say
yes, sure. Go ahead, Brian.
A heartfelt goodbye to a man who's brought a lot of pleasure to my life, and who just the other day I said what to Jess, my girlfriend, when we were looking at some homeless guy shouting the street, I'm like, oh, he's just talking to Al. It's fine, So
wouldn't that be so great though if all homeless people that were talking to the air are actually like Sam Beckett's?
I mean, my dad and I have been saying it for 30 years. But anyway, goodbye to Dean Stockwell, a man who, I've always loved, but I've certainly grown to love over the last couple of years as we've been slowly making our way through Quantum Leap. I mean, he's just a fucking pleasure.
Yeah, we definitely owe it to his memory to get these fucking episodes done.
He was so much fun to watch on that show. He did a couple episodes, maybe one episode of Enterprise with Bakula that he's pretty good in. He was in an Oscar nominee for fucking Married to the Mob, just an amazing movie. He was in Battlestar Galactica, a couple of Twilight Zones. Just a big fan. Just a big fan of Dean Stockwell. And this one hurts. This isn't quite a Shatner, Nimoy, Adam West level, but it hurts.
I guess the saving grace is that he was 85 and wasn't cut down prematurely or anything like that by COVID or I don't know, some other horrible thing.
I was talking to my dad, and this being a Baltimore-based show, it probably would be a mistake not to mention Tom Matty. There are just a lot of people's favorites dropping. Tom Matty, the old Baltimore Colt broadcaster,
right. And he was
also died this week.
I was going to say, but he was also in his 90s and had dementia and all sorts of other ailments, and it's just like, yeah, you had a good run, dude.
You mean that little leather helmet wasn't doing the job?
No, because see, Brian, that meant that they wouldn't hit each other as hard because they knew it was going to hurt real bad.
No, I think those guys are dumb and we're just fucking ramming each other.
I love the helmets are too safe now. That's why people have CTE, because they're just ramming into each other's heads. Sure, okay.
So dumb. It's so dumb. Anyway, Dean Stockwell.
Shut up, Casey.
Casey thinks that concussions, much like COVID, are a myth.
No.
Yeah,
They only affect 0.00002% of the population, which is all NFL people, which they are 0.0002% of the population.
Who's the next person?
What?
If you feel empowered enough to lead with your head, like I get it. The NFL is terrible when it comes to that, but I think there's some validity to like, okay, now I feel indestructible, so I'm going to ram you another human being with my head going however fast I can run.
I would pay so much money to see Casey get into an NFL set of gear and run headfirst into a linebacker, and then his entire body just explodes.
all I know is that if Billy Ray gets one more concussion, he's going to die.
He's going to die.
Who's the next person who could die? That would be, I guess it's Betty White and Shatner, right? Those are the last two.
Well, Betty White's over 90 at this point. Shatner is 90 flat.
Yeah.
Well, you know who else is still around, but nobody really talks about it, is what's his
Michael
name?
Douglas?
Gene Hackman.
Oh, Gene Hackman is so
Gene
I watched
Hackman,
The Quick and the
Nicholson,
Dead
they're still kicking
day.
around.
So Betty White is 99. So on January 17th, she will be 100.
And she's still on the 5th season of Hot in Cleveland, or whatever that's called.
Is she?
Yes, 3,000 episodes later, Casey. They're about to wrap up the 5th season of Hot in Cleveland.
What a great show.
I mean, Sean Connery's been dead for a couple of years. Adam West for a couple of years. Nimoy. I guess George Takei, I guess he counts. He's got to be up there at this point.
I guess he counts.
It's going to be sad. John Astin, I'll throw him on there. He's been in a ton of shit that I really like. Yeah. Sunrise, sunset, I guess. And
off with, of course, with all the coverage lately that John Carpenter has been getting, it's going to be a real sad one when he finally passes away.
Why? Because of that Halloween movie? No one cares about John Carpenter.
Oh, everyone cares about John Carpenter. You're just an idiot.
Well, I'm sorry.
Look, he's been going on tour with his band and stuff and doing all of his synth music. It's pretty sweet.
I was going to say, it's the hottest tour of 1983.
Woo! Well, anyway, getting back to CTE, I wanted to, before we do some Well-It's Bins, I wanted to really dig into some hot Aaron Rodgers chat. It's the fall. Cancellations are in. You've heard of fall TV season. It's fall cancellation season. And, of course, among the cancellations are Aaron Rodgers and Emilio Estevez. And I don't know who else, probably 5 other people. But the Aaron Rodgers one, man, oh man, has been so very entertaining.
Emilio says that he's not anti-vax. He's just, it's a contract dispute, and he had long haul COVID, so he just can't get the vaccine yet.
Oh, is that true?
That's what he's been saying. He's like, I had COVID so bad, I just can't. They don't want me to put it in me again. I'm like, well, that sounds fair. I'm not a scientist.
Well, like it or not, he got canceled. Oops. Ouch.
Yeah.
And so did that Mighty Ducks show that no one watched.
But the big news is Aaron Rodgers, who told everybody he had gotten himself immunized, but what he really meant is he took like 4 or 5 fish oil capsules and maybe a couple of Flintstone vitamins and the Centrum Silver and said, let's go. I'm ready to play.
He also did a whole lot of push-ups.
But like his fiance, first off, we'll get to Shailene Woodley, but the cancellation, he had such a big summer where people were like, well, at least he wasn't Mike Richards, he wasn't Dr. Oz. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is good. And now all this COVID shit is out, and they're like, Oh no, he's off. He's bad. He's dumb. He's
Well,
dumb.
when you watch the interview that he did on some sports podcast on the YouTubes, like he really just does look like a wet dog that is dribbling words out of his mouth that even he probably doesn't quite understand. You know, he first of all, since he's now been canceled by society, he says, "Well, the woke mob got me," and I'm like, "All right, okay, all right." So what
It's
does
like,
woke
motherfucker,
even
who do you
mean?
think?
What does
And who do
woke
you
even
think
mean
watches
anymore?
Jeopardy.
Right. The woke mob watches Jeopardy and is very disappointed that you lied to everyone. And if you're standing up on that podium and you are just spewing a little tiny little lie out of your mouth into a microphone, and you've got all those endorsement deals, and you're hosting Jeopardy, and you've got fucking State Farm insurance, and you've got God knows what the fuck else, like you're like, what I could be doing is sacrificing all of this bullshit because my girlfriend told me that all I need to do is take a bath in clay and I'll be just fine.
So this is Shailene Woodley was one of those put some sunshine on your butthole people, right?
Something to that effect. She's a holistic person.
Right. Hey, Casey, do me a favor, because Google. I am super curious. Where are the Manning brothers on vaccines? What are Peyton and Eli saying about them?
But while he's doing that,
while we're at it, where's Ja?
Where's Ja? Where is Ja? Is Tom Brady vax, not vax?
He's a goddamn. I don't know. He doesn't need to. I don't know. He's in Florida. He doesn't have to be, I guess. But I'm still sticking with this whole. What the fuck is the woke mob? If
he's probably not. No, Tom Brady has been vaccinated.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, thank God. Now,
remember when woke used to be a term that was ascribed to people that were like sort of in tune with the racial disparities in America and were down with Black Lives Matter and this and that and the other. Now it's just morphed into stuff that people don't agree with. And if somebody pushes back on you on that online or otherwise, you're somehow woke. As
opposed to when everybody agreed about racial injustice and Black Lives Matter. I do remember that. That.
Right.
I don't think the definition's changed. It used to be like,
yeah, it got woke. It has in the people that are using it inappropriately or completely wrongly. In this case, especially, it's like, the people that are upset that you lied to the entire fucking world about being vaccinated is somehow now the woke mob because they're mad at you. Okay, all right, buddy.
Yeah, it's like people used to say, "I woke up." I opened my eyes to the injustice of the world, and now people are like, "Oh, the woke mob." Like the people, I don't understand. What's the insult here? Like, whose feelings are you hurting? I just hate everybody.
And then he went
big thing. Like nobody, like for the most part, nobody really like. Who cares what a quarterback is doing, right? What I think is the big thing is that like. He said like, I followed all the protocols, whatever. But he was like walking around without a mask, which is obviously against all of their COVID protocols.
Yeah, know who cares? The fucking NFL, because there are hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. So if this motherfucker is walking around without a mask and he knows he's not vaccinated and he gets sick, whoopsie doodles, there goes your chances of the playoffs.
Well, he's going to miss at least 2 weeks, right? And they're doing pretty well, and he's going to miss at least 2 weeks.
Whoops.
And I guess here's another question though: what if he was like wearing masks and getting tested every day? Do you need him to be vaccinated? Because I don't.
If he had actually been honest about that, then sure. But he got caught in a lie and then went ahead and doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on it. It was like, well, actually now. I've got a good immune system, my medical team, and I'm consulting with my new friend Joe Rogan, and he's talking about all of these, I'm on zinc, and I'm on this, and I'm on ivermectin, and I'm on blah, 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 blah. Just like...
I think we all agree that there will be an armed revolution where, Trump acolytes will take control of this country. But I bet you just as soon as like Gilead falls or whatever, and the woke mob takes over again, Joe Rogan will be the first person strung up and hung from the Washington Monument.
No, he's going to be Secretary of State of Gilead.
Yeah, well, right, but then after Gilead falls, after the
The
third
Surgeon
American
General of
Revolution,
Gilead, title of the episode.
yeah, I'm into it. Joe Rogan, Surgeon General of Gilead. But then after Gilead falls, after like normal people take over again, they are going to hang Joe Rogan from something very high.
Is that the first priority? Like, wouldn't what's his face? Crap, Infowars.
Alex Jones?
Yeah,
No,
Jones,
I don't think Alex Jones has the reach that a Surgeon General of Gilead, Joe Rogan, does.
But I have to give you. I have to write. I wrote this thing down, and I have to speak it. The analogy that I came up with when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, because he's walking around, he's all lovable. Everybody's like, oh, he's so great on Jeopardy. What a nice guy. He's the discount double check guy. Oh, he's on all these commercials. And then, it's like that scene in The Thing when they take the hot electrode or the hot wire and they put it near the blood. And except in this case, it's a vaccine. And then the blood goes, and that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers did.
Aaron Rodgers is a petri dish full of blood.
Yeah, he's a shifting alien.
Who had the worst fall from grace? Aaron Rodgers or Ben Carson?
Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers has much more money than Ben Carson.
That's also okay. If we're talking about the mega rich who's had the worst fall from grace, like there's Giuliani, but then there's J.K. Rowling.
Why did J.K. Simmons do something? Because that would scare me. Yeah. Right now, I think it's just Joanne Rowling, who's been having a rough time.
Yep.
Mike Richards.
Like they're still making some Harry Potter movies. Like she's still got a theme park based on her properties.
Is there a Jeopardy curse? Like, is the little girl from Poltergeist going to die again because of Jeopardy? First you get Mike Richards, then you get Aaron Rodgers. They came for Mayim Bialik, but I'm ready to put that down to anti-Semitism. I just hope somebody's checking on LeVar Burton.
Oh yeah, oof. He's gonna go blind and need to wear a visor.
Oh, that'd be so cool for me. You probably wouldn't love it, but
probably wouldn't be a big fan. No.
Wasn't it like really painful for him?
What? Yes,
like in Star Trek, it's really painful.
That's something they never talk about. Is that all throughout? Every time you see Geordi on screen, he's having a low-grade migraine.
Right. Extreme eye pain.
There's one sentence in Encounter at Farpoint, the pilot, about it, and it's never brought up again. He's like, I'm just in constant headaches, but I can't take drugs because I'm a blind guy flying the ship at this point.
Yeah, his little-known fact that if they had a camera inside of the visor, you would see that his eyes are constantly being shot with electricity, like visible bolts.
That's literally, it's literally what happens. He's got those Frankenstein bolts at the side of his head. He's got the thing attached.
Ow, 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 all the time.
Like he was 8, and he's like, "Wait, can I just be blind, please?" Like,
lots of people do it. It's fine.
Like billions of years. Anyway,
I don't need to see in the entire spectrum of light.
Hey, if Al Pacino could drive that car instead of a woman, I'm pretty sure that he could drive the ship, fly the ship.
Everybody's favorite Star Trek quote: "Hooah! Instead of a woman."
This whole system's out of order.
It's me, Geordi. Hooah!
Except he's talking about the star system. The whole star system's out of order.
Get over here, Chris O'Donnell. Right? Who was in Send? I think it was Chris O'Donnell. I don't remember.
Yeah. No. Wait. What? Yes. What? Yes. Chris O'Donnell. Yes.
He was in that to the ground.
All right. Let's do a little bit of Baltimore stuff, which I'm going to tag team a Baltimore news item with a my will it's been. Before we do not take a break, we'll do shout-outs and then immediately roll into some other stuff. So you know how there have been all these ATM thefts in the city of Baltimore over the past year?
Robin Hood heroes, yeah.
If you want to extend the timeline, it's been going on for the last 3 years. Well, I read just yesterday that they caught an ATM thief, and it was just one guy in a car, an 18-year-old maybe, like a young person. Not five people in a van that was stolen. It was just like some other person trying out this whole ATM theft thing. So they caught this person.
They never get the first guy. It's always the second guy.
Right. So I was like, that's weird and interesting. But the headline essentially said, will this curtail the trend? And then I read a little deeper into the article, and it said that in 2020, there were 70 ATM thefts. 70. That is a lot of ATM thefts.
In Baltimore? Or
in Baltimore. In the city.
Where are all these ATMs? Because I feel like you never can find an ATM when you need it.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
It's because they used to be all up by the windows and shit, and now they started moving them like into the back corners of the store.
I probably, if I were like the owner operator of a 711, I would have immediately unplugged the ATM and moved it toward the back and be like, okay, now they can't ram a van and run all the way back, or they probably could actually, but it's a little more difficult. It's a little more difficult. They'd have to run the van through all the candy. What
if here's my question, because this actually seems like a pretty good career path. What if instead of like ramming my car into the store, I just very quickly brought like a hand truck and like hey, don't mind me, and this
you get like somebody dressed all funny to start doing a viral video like in front of everybody, and while they're all distracted, you get out your hand cart and you're like do.
Like, I mean, everybody loves Illusions. The Magic Bar, but they probably had a rough 2020. Maybe I could get Spencer Horseman to start doing some close-up magic. And ladies and gentlemen, the ATM is gone.
Whoa! And then he just drops a smoke bomb and actually just runs away. But yeah, 70. And then 21 apparently ATM robberies in 2021. So this year has been a significant less amount of ATM thefts, but still 70.
Who
70?
Who would have thought moving the ATMs to the back of the store would deter that much crime?
Never would have thought.
I guess what we're learning is maybe you shouldn't keep millions of dollars at 7-Eleven.
I don't think there's millions of dollars in those. It's probably like $100.
No, Casey, there's got to be up to $50,000 in an ATM.
It's a good question. And Casey, you're sitting right in front of a computer, so get to it.
How much money is
in an ATM?
An ATM. And hold on, there's some knocking at my door and some blinking lights outside. I need to be right back.
Now we're gonna have to do the Get Casey Out of Jail telethon.
How much would the bail for that be?
For stealing an ATM? I don't know if that's a federal crime because it's. I mean, or if it's just grand theft. I don't really know because you're not robbing.
But you know
bank.
that no, I bet you just because
does it count as a bank?
Yeah, I would say you know how
molecular biology.
You know how reasonable the laws of America are. I'm sure that's a bank robbery.
Mm.
It's a robbery. To drive-by fruiting.
I should just get
so it's
one
like
of those little
$2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah, but I feel like a busy 7-Eleven can go through that in the morning.
Yeah, it depends on where it is. Yeah, because I mean, any ATM at a strip club.
Well, that's probably different. That's probably more. But like, if your average withdrawal is $60, it's about looks like it's the $2,000 daily.
The dumbest thing I ever saw a person do was I was behind them at an ATM in say College Park, and the person got out a $20 bill and paid like a $2.50 fee on top of whatever the bank fee is gonna be. So they paid like a good 15% to 25% of whatever that amount they just got out in fees. So good job. Always get out $100 if you've got it.
Well, look, they probably needed that 20 because their dealer doesn't take. It was before Venmo was invented.
They probably just needed a pack of smokes like you.
Oh, okay, probably.
Pack of smokes and a Slurpee.
Oh, yeah. It's a good order. It's a good order. I don't take the ATM to go. Hey.
How many people do you think got pinched because they didn't realize that Venmo was public by default and were
Oh,
I am
yeah.
paying you for drugs.
Drugs, more drugs. School.
That's why I always just push, like, let my finger hit the keyboard and be like, yep, that's it. I'm paying you for B.
For B, right.
For B.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of creative food emojis to, disguise the drugs.
Right. Like salt shakers.
Salt shaker, worm, palm tree. Okay.
I need 30 keys of salt shakers.
Have a good one, Casey.
All right, I've got a quick it's been that's also Baltimore related. Went to the finale of the Wharf Rat this past weekend, and that was quite a time because it was on Friday, and literally everyone who was gonna go went, and it just so happened to be the time and the place. You could see the energy pulsating out of the doors that you just knew you were gonna run into a million people. And that's exactly what happened, and it wound up being kind of like weird nostalgia trip sadness kind of thing at the very end of it all.
Was it like a Midnight Sun B magazine reunion?
There was a smattering of that, but it wound up just being all kinds of people from all kinds of chapters, and you're sitting in this ancient building that the bar's been open itself since '82 or possibly before. I can't remember when it opened. But yeah, I first ran into a guy who was a big fan of when I used to host trivia and used to be a customer of the meat snacks back in the day. So, I'm sitting at the bar. It's very crowded. There's a line, just like you love, Brian, all the people in the queue waiting to order their beer.
It's not how you do a bar.
And, he's just standing next to me waiting for his drinks, and we're chatting it up. That was fine. I didn't think much of that. But then randomly see this lady walk in, and she's waving at me, and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Then she pulls down her mask, and I'm like, oh, it's that person we went camping with a couple of times, and now they live in this city, and we can be friends with them. And it's like, hey, do you want to be friends with us? Please, that's nice. So just different chapter, different set of people. Then we saw two friends of an ex of mine who still like me, so we got to hug and chat it up for a little while, got some updates on the ex, they're doing fine, it's great. And you're like, oh no, heartbreak, that was a different heartbreak chapter.
Wait, which friend was it? That hot one that does the grocery store?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you who else. Yeah.
Okay. And then finally, friend of the show, Joe Giordano, and a bunch of other people that I'm friends with now still showed up, but it was just all this long nonstop nostalgia train. And then we got into the conversation about the content we used to provide to the city and this and that and the other, and the stuff we're still doing now. And it all just boiled down to this nostalgia and sort of the content we're putting out is barely relevant anymore, and it's all really just about you're all gonna die.
Hey, Did Joe change the time of his event on Thursday?
I don't know. I'll look it up because I have the day off, so I might as well check that out.
Well, some of us don't.
Well, you don't have a job, so you do have the day off.
Yeah,
I have school.
Okay. Anyway, that's my it's been. It was fun, but kind of sad.
Wharf Rat's one of those places in town that it always felt like its own thing,
Very much.
I was always a big fan. I hope it still stays like it's big, its own thing. And, here's hoping that I'm looking forward to spending more time there in the future. And I hope it doesn't go anywhere.
At
least
given all that sadness.
Spruce it up. But
spruce it up, but don't sanitize. Spruce it up, but don't sanitize.
Bingo. Dive is a feeling, and it's a pretty good dive bar. It was never shitty.
All of this hopefulness, making me a little happy. Somebody do it.
I'm happy.
Just took a huge hit. Okay. Time to celebrate the internet sensation sweeping the nation.
Give me the tray.
It's time for shoutouts.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Shoutouts. It's a part of the show in which we do not take a break, and we give mad props, aka shoutouts, to persons, places, and things that are giving us jollies and improving our quality of life. We've got nothing from any of the fam zones or anything this week. We do have something. Okay, Casey, do it.
Liz G says, "Shout out to my new favorite space fact: John Young smuggled a corned beef sandwich onto the Gemini 3 mission."
Yeah.
Did that ever come back, or did they eat it on the ship?
I assume they ate it.
That is a good question. I imagine, yeah.
It
Or
doesn't
you bring it
freeze, right?
back.
Because it's in space.
Well, hold on a second. No, they brought it back, and it's like preserved in resin.
Just like my lungs. Hi-oh.
Hello. They should get some DNA out of the corned beef and clone it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Now
all.
we have 2 sandwiches.
Feel like Jurassic Park, but astronauts.
Yeah,
you
there
never
go.
stopped. You were so concerned about whether or not you could. You never stopped to ask whether or not you should, boy chick.
You see the tiny little drill going through the resin into the sandwich.
Wait, you're telling me you have a pastrami?
Casey, what's your shout out?
I had a get together. I had a get together with some college friends and kids, and it was nice hanging out, letting the kiddos run around, and not have to constantly pay attention to them, and
take it
have
that
them
is-
entertain
that is-
themselves.
Take it that is not your well, it's been then.
Well, I that is my shout out, but I have that is not the exact.
Okay. My shout out is to chili season. Woo! It has begun, baby. Chili in a bread bowl, cheddar on top, sour cream, baby. Give me that, baby. Give me that, baby. Brian, what do you got?
My shout out is to the Temptations song. Well, I should say, start this off by saying I've been listening to a lot of R&B and soul lately. I don't know why. I'm just I like bopping around campus with all like the Gen Z kids, listening to a whole bunch of like 50-year-old R&B. Like, it's real cool. My shout out this week is to the song "I've Never Been to Me" by the Temptations.
Okay.
It is amazing.
Wonderful. That has been shout out.
It's about this old man who's been like traveling around the world, and he like meets a young man. He's like, "Hey, bud, let me talk to you for a minute." No, it's like he's like, "Let me talk to you." He's like, "I've been to Georgia and California and everywhere I could roam." It's all about like, he's like, "I stole a woman in Tennessee, made love in the sun." Yeah, it's a great song. There's also a version of it by a lady, and that one's kind of a little bit more like pro-life and uncomfortable, but it's good. It's a great song. Great song. "Never Been to Me" by the Temptations.
All right, Casey, you've got a well, it's been, and it better be great, because that's going to be basically the rest of this show.
Yeah,
Okay.
carry it, Casey.
So,
The Daylight Saving Shorty.
So, 2 things. So we'll start with the first, kind of expanding on my shout out. Did the little friends get together thing, and Cannon's vocabulary is very interesting. So we taught him to say, to the word negotiate. So now
the other N word.
when he went, when we're trying to figure out lunch or decide how many books to read, he's let's negotiate. So this is the first time it's come out naturally around other
I have
people.
A question.
Okay.
Why are you raising him Jewish? Why did you teach him the word negotiate? I don't understand.
I just we just talk like normal adults around him, and like we think it's funny to teach him big words that he doesn't quite understand at the time, and then eventually he does. So
but you're also teaching him like fuck and shit, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. We have different ideas about what is funny.
I mean, he's 3 years old, so he's gonna learn it very quickly. So yeah, we brought with us one of our friends' birthday presents, and we were trying to explain to him, like, it's not for you. This is not for you. This is for the other girl, the little girl. It's for a little girl. And so then we're there like an hour and a half, and then he comes up to me and he says, "Is it time to open the present? Can I open the present now?" And I said, "No, Finn, this is not for you. No, Cannon, this is not for you."
You
And
didn't
then
hit him
he
a
goes,
decoy.
"Okay."
What's wrong with you?
And then he goes,
Yeah.
"Let's," in front of everybody, "let's negotiate." And just like everybody sort of busted out laughing. But the best part about this, go ahead,
He
Brian.
was really excited. He was really excited to give that little girl that Lego set you just had lying around your house, huh?
No, it was a smoothie maker set, like a toy play smoothie maker. And so what the funny part is, then he
Does he
goes to
make
her
smoothie?
mother, and then he's like, can I open the present? And then negotiates his way into somehow opening the present with the girl. So it wasn't his gift, and somehow negotiates a way into opening with her. Yeah, 3 years or so, whatever.
So it was a tag team
It was-
gift opening.
Yeah, tag team gift exchange. So
I enjoy
there's that.
I like that this is his catchphrase, and I hope he keeps it for the rest
It
of his
is.
life.
He does. We read it constantly. We're at lunch.
Mother, it's me, Cannon. Could we negotiate?
Let's
Listen,
negotiate
Mother.
at lunch.
huggies.
Mother, I was wondering if maybe you and Father would let me go to see Queens of the Stone Age. Let's negotiate. I don't know what bands he's gonna like. Like, what's the worst band? I'm looking forward to seeing Justin Bieber reunion concert, Mother.
Not Justin Bieber's baby. Justin Bieber babies.
You made a joke about negotiating about hugs, but he totally does that.
Oh,
See, what?
At bedtime, we're like, "Can we have a hug?" And he's like, "No, let's negotiate."
no. What else does he want?
Like, "Can we get hugs and kisses before bed?" He's like, "No, let's negotiate. One hug, no kisses."
Okay.
I like his style.
Yeah. So,
He should-
so that the
no
other thing
kissing.
that's kind of that has come up randomly. So we put a toy box in his room to like round up all the stuffed animals because his bed has just kind of been overwhelmed with stuffed animals. So put the stuffed animals, start putting stuffed animals in the toy box, and then promptly he announces, "I'm going to sleep in the toy box."
That's
So
awesome.
let him.
So he has been sleeping in the toy box for like a week. Bedtime and nap time. He is fully committed to this. And now he's got to the point where he switches back and forth. And on any given night, we don't know where he's going to be sleeping.
Right.
Because, it's just, he's 3 and he just has his idea of what he's going to do. And
Yeah. What you should really do is get him a little tent and set it up in the living room, and he'll probably want to sleep in there because it's camping.
Or
Yeah.
you just set up the tent in his room and let him keep like 2 or 3 stuffed animals there, and he can sleep either in his bed. Casey, I should be a better parent than you, man. It's like, but I got this figured out. Like, Kevin is already not sleep. He said, I like my bed better. The toy box was a nice was a nice experiment, but he used your other idea. Just get rid of all the stuffed animals. Tell him, fine, no stuffed animals then. Let's try sleeping in your Tonka trucks. You bitch.
I'll do that, and then I'll tell him that me and Mr. Brian stole all the stuffed animals. And
Yeah, you need to sleep in the Lego bin without a blanket.
Bring him here, and we can negotiate.
so
He said, how about this? I said, how about a knuckle sandwich?
No.
So we've been playing with we've been building Legos, and he found a hoard I have of like the minifigures, and in there has the Simpsons minifigures. So of course he's doing the bit like, who's this person? Who's this person? So he comes across the comic book guy minifigure. He's like, who is he? It's the comic book guy.
Oh, you didn't
What's
say
his
it was
name?
Brian.
So he kept insisting, like, what is his name? I'm like, no, that is his name. He's like, no, what is his name? And
No,
I was
he's
like,
got a
okay,
name.
it's Brian. I don't know
Aw.
his name. What is his name?
I want to say it's Steve. I don't know.
Steve.
You're on the front of the computer. You look it up. But comic book guy's got a real name, and it's something very bad. It's like stupid. It's like, when people are like,
Jeff
oh,
Albertson.
Jeff Albertson.
There
Is
we
that
go.
really
It's
it?
kind of, that's really it. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, right. It's bad.
Jeff.
It's like,
But see,
I mean,
like
I-
neither of neither of you knew it, so there's no way that I'm gonna know it.
Yeah, I stopped
Right,
watching
but
The
I knew that-
Simpsons in the year 2000.
So
wow,
now
you're
Brian
so
is
cool.
Yeah, I am.
Brian is
thanks.
immortalized as the comic
Uh,
book guy in our minifigure collection.
You know, Katie, I understand that you have like other people that we would hang out with you and stuff and play with your kid, but you're just introducing him to your like college friends, which I don't even think exists.
That
But like,
have
it's fine.
kids.
It's fine. Listen, I'm a big kid. How old's Cannon now?
Brian
He's
needs to be friends.
3.
He's 3. Jess's nephew was like 2. We gotta get these kids together.
He's gonna Brian's gonna crash our birthday party, and then Cannon's gonna be like, I think.
What is
No,
comic
bro,
book
like,
guy doing here?
No, bro, you're a little too old for this party.
Why would I have to crash? Why aren't I invited? Like it just hurts.
It's what's called a reference to callback
Oh,
to the
right.
time that you went to your neighbor's party and they kicked you out because you were too old.
Oh, I forgot about that. Thanks, Casey. Thanks, Casey. I
Welcome.
go through
You're
lots.
welcome.
I go through lots of therapy. I go through lots of therapy to put things behind me, and then here I am. Brought love on the friends.
Casey and his, all his parent friends with the kids running around, and it's Cannon's birthday, and this baseball just comes, rolling through the backyard, and then Brian comes stumbling through the bushes. Oh, I was just playing.
What?
I was just playing
What?
baseball over there, and with
I
my
had no
other
idea.
friends. Hey, what's up?
I didn't know.
Oh, is that pizza?
And then Brian asks if he can join, and then Cannon goes, "You don't want none of that."
You don't want none of that. You don't want none of that.
His other catchphrase. It's great.
He's got so many. You don't want none of that, but let's negotiate to see what you do want.
He'll make an excellent lawyer. It's like just a litany of catchphrases. He's the catchphrase lawyer.
They let me be a partner, even though much like never mind. Tom Hagen. I'm not a Sicilian, nor am I really Jewish. It's me, Cannon Cochran. Hello.
He's got a lot of he spends a summer abroad during school, and somehow gets involved in some sort of legal community that all talk like that, and then comes back and becomes the best lawyer of all time.
The legal community, where's he going? New York? That legal community?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
got some of that New York humor?
Yep. Studies abroad.
Hello, it's New York. So different from Dundalk.
If he becomes a lawyer, can he get sued for using his own name?
Cannon Cochran.
Yes. Wait. Now we have to. Why we get sued? Because Cochran and Son?
Johnny Cochran.
Oh, no. I think there can be more. And his name isn't Johnny.
Okay.
It's Cannon.
Cochran
I was like so
firm.
confused. I was like, wait, I know what this kid's name is. I'm pretty sure. Like, it's it's not Cannon, but it's not Johnny either.
Not Johnny.
So someone told me in college that I looked like a Johnny, and totally did not know who Johnny Cochran was.
Well, it's Casey. You guys could be twins. You could be his son. You could be Johnny Cochran's son.
Every time I start this podcast, I have to rub my eyes and be like, I'm seeing
Whoa,
double.
whoa.
2 Johnny Cochrans.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit, and that's why he never had sex with condoms. And that's how Casey was made.
And that makes me a little
Sounds about
angry.
right.
Oh, I'm so pissed.
I told y'all it was going to be a shorty. Anyway, it's now time to go right ahead and tell everyone to shut up.
We gonna let the band deal with this.
Total Garden!
A-style.
All right, Fast and Loose is the end of the show in which we give the opposite of mad props, aka shut-ups, to persons, places, and things that are lowering our quality of life and not giving us any jollies at all. Casey, I didn't obviously pay enough attention. Do we have any from the fam zone / whatever?
No, that's my fault. So shut up to not sleeping. Shut up to the weather just being bipolar and
Sure, yeah.
it being 75 degrees
Yep.
after a gorgeous, very nice, cool, crisp week.
Shut up to it getting dark at 5. Shut up to just all of it. All of it. All of it! I have a shut up to people who basically tweet an entire blog post on Twitter and say thread beforehand, as if I'm going to fucking read that. Get out of here. Blogs are free. Go get one. That's all.
You know what? I've noticed on social media that we have reinvented Tumblr so quickly.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, remember that?
You know, threads that are impossible to follow. Sad people telling me why they're better than me. It's like, just stop it.
The most infuriating part is that each part of the thread, each comment that they follow themselves up with has 18 comments coming from other people on each one of them. It's impossible. It sucks. It's stupid.
Right.
Just get a fucking blog.
Stop it.
Stop. Please.
Stop.
Stop. Stop it. Stop. Casey, do you have a shot? Shut up.
I just did.
No, my bad. I'm sorry. Again, all of this seasonal affect disorder, the SADs. We all have the SADs.
What was it?
That's why this episode to the darkness.
Oh, I'll add. Shut up! I lost. I hurt my throat. Voicing
I
Mr.
hurt
Towel.
myself.
I hurt my throat today.
Yeah, hurt my throat today. Voicing Mr. Towel, drying my son off after his bath because he wouldn't stand still and wanted to run into his bedroom, dripping wet.
Well,
So
that's
what?
why he's got to get in that toy box so he can roll around in those stuffies and dry.
And that box.
I told him he could, so I asked him, why don't we put some of your stuffed animals in the toy box? He's like, no, Daddy, because then there won't be enough room for me to sleep in there.
You see, I will
Very
say
logical.
that he seems pretty young for you to be buying him a toy box.
AdamandEve.com, sponsor of this episode. Go to AdamandEve.com/CTB show. Get a free gift with some lube. Brian, what do you got?
Oh, it's not a shut up because I don't know of anything. But I watched the first episode of the show called Warrior on HBO Max the other day. It's like a kung fu western from the writings of Bruce Lee.
Okay.
And I liked it. So my shut up is a shout out.
I like that one kung fu western called Into the Badlands where they don't have guns for some reason and only swords.
It's like magic, isn't it?
I guess. I don't remember.
But also motorcycles.
Yep. Yeah. That's motorcycles.
Motorcycles. That's how they work.
All right, that has been Shut
Let's
Ups.
get on our bikes.
Wow. All right, shortest episode yet. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody who's keeping a spreadsheet ought to check those numbers.
Whew.
I don't fucking know. Bro, I don't fucking know. Anyway, this is episode 386, I believe, of the CTB show. Hey, if you got any topics in mind, because this is a slow season. When it starts getting dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock, the doldrums, baby. We actually, hold on. We will be having an interview with the Baltimore Video Game Symphony Orchestra. Finally, it's been in the works for quite some time. They sent me an email today, so I will be following with them, and we will somehow make that happen.
We were going to do that right when the pandemic started?
That's right. They finally got back to me, and it's going to happen at some point. So, anyway, that's something to look forward to.
Oh, we got to talk about Rash Field soon.
Yep. All right, we'll do that next week, because I haven't been down there yet, so I'll take a look at it. So, but anyway.
I think I might. I'll probably be there tomorrow.
Oh, I might stop by Thursday when I have the day off. So shout out to veterans everywhere. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being a fan. Thank you very much for being a friend. Have a great day and a better tomorrow.